Hey, hi there, friends. Once again, thank you. Very happy to see you here. Thank you for coming across this channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Marvin is my name, and I know that we're going to be good friends. Reminder quickly, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do. That just helps to push the work forward in so many ways that I don't have time to explain. Share and like the videos, send in comments, and let's keep educating each other. A quick moment of reflection and perhaps re-education. Let me start off by saying that we're finding out more and more that there's been a lot of lies that we've been told. Lies we've been told about life, about creation, about the world. And these lies have been told by certain people who want to rule the world. In fact, rule the world. They've taken over the world, they've dominated, they've literally just done a coup on global leadership. And so they control these narratives. There's a video I did where I talked about Dambisa Moyo's book, where she asked a question about why the affairs of Africa are dominated or colonized in her own language by white people who don't live in Africa. And I gave you an explanation to say it's because they want to control narratives. Now today I show you another piece of evidence to show this deception through narratives, and this is about the location of Israel. I want you to know today that the country that we've come to know as Israel today is actually an African piece of land. It's an African piece of land. And Europeans, as usual, wanting to control narratives, wanting to deceive so they could disconnect people from their heritage, decided to call that Middle East, but it's actually North Africa. And I'm going to show you a video clip here of an official in Israel who actually confirms this. Two of them actually. Two officials who confirm what I'm about to tell you. Now, the reason I'm showing you this and telling you this is to be able to empower us, help us get out of this deception. There's been a lot of deception that has happened over the years. We've gone to school and taught certain things, and those things were not true. We've been indoctrinated and lied to through education systems. And it's about time that we started doing our own homework and started doing our own education so that we can abide in the truth, so that we can walk in the truth and free ourselves from deception. Now, obviously, with regards to Israel, we know that part of the reason why this was done is that they knew the power that it would give them. And so it would give them this license, free roam, if you like, just roam freely and be able to deceive as much as they would want to deceive. And I asked a question in one of my previous videos where I was talking about Dambisa Moyo, and asked a question, who are these people? Because we need to constantly reflect on that. Who are these people that everything that they do is intended to bring harm, disharmony, divide and rule? Who are these people? But without wasting much time, I want you to watch this because I've insisted that Israel is an African piece of land. I want you to watch this clip and I'll come back and we'll close.
Most Egyptologists and anthropologists, archaeologists of the Eurocentric persuasion will say that Egypt is in Africa. They had to concede that, but then they still draw the line by saying that they weren't Africans like that. In other words, they weren't dark-skinned people. And of course, this is all part of the Great Deception. And the reality is that if they give up Egypt, ancient Kemet, if they give that up and say that that was a part of black Africa, then they will also have to give up Israel. And that's why they draw the line at Egypt, because if they give up Egypt, they've got to give up Israel.
Now, we're going to go over here, and I'm going to show you where Israel sits on the African tectonic plate, which means that Israel is northeast Africa. Now, when we look at this map, this is the Sinai, okay? This is the Red Sea. This is Egypt. This is the Sinai. This is Israel. All right, this is Saudi Arabia over here. Now, if you see this in Hebrew, it says Haluach Afrikani, the African plate. Here it is right here. Israel is sitting right here. Israel is sitting on the Haluach Afrikani, which means that Israel is northeast Africa.
Without question, we are in northeast Africa. We are landlocked to Egypt, with the exception of the Suez Canal, which was a man-made ditch, a boundary now between, in fact, it's not even really a boundary anymore since Egypt has reclaimed the Sinai Peninsula. But nevertheless, even those of us who are Pan-Africanists in our thinking and Afrocentric, we forget and we leave off that portion of Northeast Africa and don't want to claim anything beyond that.
Europeans classified this area as a Middle East. You know, and then since this the Middle East, the other question, where the Middle West? Where the Middle North and where the Middle South? They don't have no geographical terms like that. And the only reason why they use that term, Middle East, because it disconnects the proper connotation that should go with describing this land geographically.
So there you are then. You've just seen, mostly you saw, he introduced himself as a man, as a minister of information for African Hebrew Israelites in Israel. The man is Sir Amdiel Ben Yehuda. And he emphasizes that that is Africa. The demographic there, the animal life there, nature itself is African setting, it's not European. And he talks about how our friends in Europe came and changed everything, changed the name for political reasons. And this is why so many experts tell you and tell us that Israel is a political project. It's not God's idea. It's a political project to create deception. All right? But he gave us information. And then we had his assistant there taking us to that plaque there, showing us where it officially states that the land called Israel sits on an African tectonic plate. All right? And as I've been looking through these things and doing my own investigations, wanting to really prove if these are true, because we've been taught different things through the education that was brought to us by Europeans. And now we are learning quickly that they've designed all these education systems to deceive us, to keep us down, to dominate us. That was the reason for all these systems, including the education system. And again, I'm going to come back and do a video and talk more about why our African leaders are not taking the initiative to do away with these colonial education systems, which were designed to keep people oppressed, keep people deceived, rob people of their identity. And that is key. But last but not least, I want to show you, because even as I've been looking at all these materials personally, I still keep asking myself, is this true? Is this true? I keep really doubting, if I can put it that way. I keep doubting, is this really true? Because it's so hard when you've grown up to unlearn the truth. And I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing. Even as I'm speaking, you must be thinking, this guy is crazy. What is he talking about? Because we've been indoctrinated by colonial systems to think a certain way about the world and about ourselves. And so it's so hard to unlearn and relearn the truth. But even up until this point, even when I came across, and I'm going to give you the title of where you can get this information for yourself. You can actually access this documentary on YouTube. It's also available on TV channels such as Tubi, is where I first saw it. But you know, the documentary where you can find full information about this and where I got this clip from is actually a documentary called Northeast Africa, The Hidden Truth. You can watch that for yourself. It's about an hour long, very, very insightful, full of insight and accurate information. All right? This is the documentary that was done by Stephen Graham, because he had all these confusions going on in his head. He's an American guy, and he said, let me just go to the motherland and find out for myself. So he did this documentary and got the truth, first-hand truth. All right? So before we go, I want to show you, and like I said, because I kept on, even after seeing straightforward things like this, I still was saying, this can't be true. This can't be true. That's Middle East. That's for white people and all of that. And another thing that really makes you suspicious is that Israel has been created as a country of white people. It's a project of white supremacy. It's there. You can see it. Black people like this man, Ben Yehuda, they don't feature prominently on anything that is being talked about with regards to Israel, the media in Israel and things. They don't bring them on. Why? Because it's a project of white supremacy. All right? But, like I said, even after coming into information like this, I'm still doubting myself. Finally, one day, I sat down, had my usual day preparation in the morning, do my meditation, and quiet time, and then I'm having a cup of tea, just about to get into business, start up my day with work and whatnot. So I turn on the TV, let me just pick up a few headlines so I can just know what's going on, you know. And then I come across, I actually tuned into CNN and came across a coverage on an earthquake that had just happened. And then this man was explaining what causes earthquakes. And he was talking about the tectonic plates. That for me, it just nailed it. It just sealed and closed the deal. I'm like, yeah, now I know. That part of the continent called Middle East is Africa. And that piece of land is an African piece of land. It was taken away as a part of controlling narratives to change the demographic so that all the images we see is white people. And then dark-skinned people never think that they are the people of God. That's what the intention was. It's all part of the control of narratives. And these people will go to any length. They will kill. They will destroy people so they can have dominance and control narratives. And up until this day, we have believed that that land is a land of white people. And that's why you even see Hollywood producing movies about Egypt. All white faces, white people, white faces. Samson, Delilah. It's all a big deception. In another video, I'm going to show you how Hollywood is connected to Israel or the white Jews. It's going to shock you. But in closing, let me show you the video that nailed it for me. That was the deal breaker. And we'll go home and we'll see each other next time.
And now all of these other aftershocks are happening here. Well, it's because there are fault lines. Obviously there are. We have the Arabian and the Anatolian right through here, and even the African plate making almost a triple point where the initial earthquake happened. Yes, it is cold.